So the teams line up, and they're with the officials. The referee today from the Ivory Coast, as we look at the determined girls starting lineup named by coach Robert Lartey. It's actually an unchanged team from the one which kicked off on match day 1 against Green Buffaloes. Look out for the Gambian duo of Ruggie Diouf, the number 4, who will play there in a key role, helping shield the defence, and the number 8, Basse Darbo, who has a big role to play in the attack for this determined girls side. Still no place in the starting lineup for Buntu Sila, who was very lively off the bench in the opening game. Sonia Kore of the Ivory Coast is the referee for today's game. Her assistants from Cameroon and from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the 4th official from Senegal. There with the 2 captains. Margaret Stewart, the number 17 for determined girls, and for Simba Queens, the number 7, Opa Tukumbuke. And a reminder that we have video assistant referees to call upon if needed today. They are keeping an eye on all the monitors in the control room. And this is the Simba Queens starting lineup named by the coach Charles Lukula. There is one change compared to the team which kicked off in their opening match, and it is a start for Sylvia Mwacha, the number 12. We expect her to play at left back in a 4-4-2 formation. Diana Nally is the player who makes way. Gilwa Lugomba in goal then for Simba Queens, then a back 4 with Daniela Ngoy and Esther Mayala Kibo in central defence. Look out for Vivian Odiambo, the number 4 in central midfield. And up front then, that's where we'll see the skipper, Opa Clement Tukumbuke. Well, determined girls who came through West African qualifying, taking on Simba Queens in their second game today. The Tanzanians, who emerged from the CAF qualifying competition to appear in the group stage of the CAF Women's Champions League for the first time. Off we go then, the action underway in match day 2 in Group A of this year's CAF Women's Champions League, and a huge game for determined girls of Liberia and Simba Queens of Tanzania. 2 teams beaten in their opening game here in Morocco and looking for their first points today. And straight away, determined girls pushing forward. A sign of their intent at the beginning of this game. Excellent running down the right-hand side from Martha Lee Moore. And good goalkeeping from Gelwa Lugomba. Simba Queens in the mainly red kit with white trim, and pushing forward themselves now at the other end. Chance perhaps here. It's going to be the first corner kick of the afternoon. Joel Bukuru trying to pick out a teammate in the middle, and the unmistakable figure of the determined girls captain Margaret Stewart turning that ball behind. Well, we saw plenty of entertainment, plenty of talking points across all the opening games in Groups A and B. Hoping for more of the same from a neutral perspective today. I think fans of either Determined Girls or Simba Queens would settle for a 1-0 win. Not many chances, keeping it tight. They just want the points on the board. And they need the points on the board as well. These teams cannot afford to lose today. The Liberian champions up against the champions of Tanzania. And it's Simba Queens heading towards goal again. Chance for the shot from long range. Pambani Kuzoya trying her luck, but that effort lacking the power needed to really trouble Jackie Tua in the Determined Girls goal. Robert Larte is the man in charge of Determined Girls. Club founded in 2005. And his opposite number. In the Simba Queens technical area, Charles Lukula, who was working on an interim basis when he took the Ugandan champions at She Corporate to a runners-up spot in regional qualifying in Tanzania. They were beaten in the final by Simba Queens. Now he is in charge of the Tanzanian side. They've got the free kick here, flighted up into the box. Delivered by Sylvia Mwacha. Ngoi. Away by Stewart, but it's Simba Queens keeping the pressure on here. The whistle goes. Pambani Kuzoya trying to get the cross in. That's why the flag coming up against Kuzoya. Back down to the other end here for the Liberians. Good running from Mabinti Kamara, but the ball safely into the arms of Lugomba. Once again, Simba Queens pushing forward, and certainly a bright start to the game from them. And that ball, well, Upa Tukumbuke, the captain, just unable to get it under control. Better first touch on the chest, and she would have been in. Two teams not just looking for their first point of the campaign, but looking for their first goal as well. And Determined Girls just hoping to start in a much more solid fashion than they did in their opening game against Green Buffaloes. And they were well beaten, 4-0 on the day, 3-0 down after 31 minutes, and then an own goal from the goalkeeper Jackie Tua finishing them off. That was the half chance which fell Upa's way, just unable to get it under control. Ruth Wesse in the corner, away from a marker, but overruns that ball somewhat, and it will be a goal kick. Ruth Wesse, who is the only player in the Determined Girls team who is on a booking and will miss the next match if cautioned today. Here come Determined Girls again, and just snatching at the opportunity to play the ball into the middle. Sylvia Pine could have looked up and seen a teammate arriving in the middle. Once more the ball in behind the fullback. How many times have we seen that from the two teams in the opening stages? But Sylvia Pine's delivery, not sure if she meant it as a shot. She never actually looked up at all. Saved by the goalkeeper, and first corner of the game, which is partially cleared. Bassi Darbo in the corner. Well, it's been a lively start from the two teams here in Rabat today. The stands fairly sparsely populated at the moment, but fans will be arriving in numbers as the evening goes on, with the second match to follow between FAR Rabat and Green Buffaloes. That defeat for Determined Girls, 4-0 against Green Buffaloes, a heavy one. And equaling the heaviest defeat in the short history of this competition. There was a 4-0 last year for Rivers Angels against Viga Queens. Here comes Simba Queens, the ball into the middle, and just beyond the reach of Aisha Nunca in the middle. Relief for the Liberians.
Let's go!
Certainly get the impression every time either side gets forward that anything could happen. Just looking for a bit more quality in the final third from the two teams as they push forward. This is Ruth Wesse. Does well to hold off Joel Bukuru. Long ball forward, it needs Lugomba to come out of her penalty box to mop up the danger. And a free kick given to Simba Queens. You can't miss Bassi Darbo with the headband on.
No, take your time. Drop it in run.
Odiambo. Mopped up by Jenny Tisdale. Diamond Dunn trying to play it forward. Second edition of the Women's Champions League, and these two teams are new to the competition. Simba Queens missing out in qualifying last year. They were beaten by Viga Queens of Kenya in the semi-finals of Central and Eastern African qualifying. Free kick played forward, headed away. The edge of the penalty box. Once again, the whistle going in favour of Determined Girls. Fatuma Suleimani Densa, the player penalised. Not an awful lot in that, but credit to Mabinti Kamara for stealing in front of the Tanzanian defender. Right in front of the referee as well, and the decision going the Liberians' way. Gilma Lugomba organising her defensive wall, comprised of 3 red shirts. Best part of 30 metres out this. It may take something pretty special to even come close to troubling the goalkeeper from here. Bassi Darbo seems to fancy the shot. Bassi Darbo lining it up, it's beyond the wall, but straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Another save for Gilma Lugomba. Fairly comfortable one, the Tanzanian keeper.
All you do, get close. Don't lose your buckle. Don't lose your buckle.
We'll see the free kick from behind the goal. Lugomba had her wall protecting the near post. And in the end, on hand to collect that ball, which was well struck, but not especially dangerous for the keeper. But the Determined Girls coming forward again. Well, they look dangerous every time they get into the final third. And Simba Queens scrambling it behind for another corner kick. Dan is going to take this from the left-hand side. Who will draw first blood today? First goal could be so important in this game. Corner played short and the shot flashed in from Ruth Wesse, but again collected by the keeper. It's been a fairly busy start to the game for Gelba Lugomba. Tukumbuke driving forward now at the other end and winning the free kick, and maybe a talking to here. In fact, it's the first yellow card of the game. Jenny Tisdale is the player cautioned and will now be walking a bit of a tightrope for the remainder of this game. We're 80 minutes away from the end. A clear foul with Upa Tukumbuke having got away from her.
Jackie, what? Don't stay on the ball too long.
So Joel Bukuru will deliver this free kick then for Simba Queens.
No room. Room.
The referee just making sure that the three-player wall is back the requisite distance. Flighted up into the box and held at the second attempt by the goalkeeper. Jackie Tua, who maybe didn't cover herself in glory. A couple of the goals conceded in the opening game. Played forward by Tisdale, the pass is intercepted. Tisdale getting into trouble, and this could be the opening goal perhaps for Simba Queens, and just unable to get the shot away. Aisha Nunca. Too easy for the Tanzanians, you have to say. Determined Girls losing possession very cheaply. The challenge coming in now from Ruth Wesse. Well, some frantic instructions being shouted out from the respective technical areas as we see that challenge again from Ruth Wesse.
Now, Rookie, watch that. Rookie.
It's Robert Larte, who we can hear, in particular, the Determined Girls manager. Club from Monrovia, champions in Liberia in the last couple of years. The new season in Liberia began just in late September. And already come through Zone A in qualifying in the West African zone. Just a three-team group, that one, with AS Mondé of Mali, who were involved in the group stage last year, as well as USPA from Senegal. And it was a pretty tight group, with Determined Girls drawing with AS Mondé after they conceded a late equaliser, but they recovered to win 1-0 against USPA, making the most of home advantage because the games were played in Liberia. The problem here for Simba Queens. Well, Charles Lukula's been a bit more measured than his Liberian counterpart. Haven't heard his voice quite as much. It's his team coming forward again here. Nunca playing the early ball into the middle, looking for Opa Tukumbuke, the captain, but Jackie Tua is there to collect again. Nicely brought down by Mbase Darbo. Sylvia Pine. Mbase Darbo continued her run down the right, but strong challenge coming in. Moore, first time ball forward. Daniela Ngoyi allowed it to bounce, and Lugomba there to collect. Opa Tukumbuke, the captain. Well, at the moment it just needs a bit more quality in the final third, and that applies to the two teams here. Danger is that neither of them, of course, will make it to the next stage, having lost their opening game. Certainly a draw wouldn't be very helpful today. Referee's whistle going again. Can't say who was left on the ground, but it's a Simba Queens free kick. Kuzoya's ball through, bit of space here for Asha Jafari, trying to pick out a teammate in the middle. Don't think it was the best ball, in all honesty. There was the option of Opa Tukumbuke in there, but was behind her in any case. Comes off the defender for another corner kick as we wait the opening goal. Played short to Joel Bukuru. Good defending from Diamond Dan, who wins the free kick for Determined Girls. Simba Queens in their red kits.
Let's go.
Beaten 1-0 by FAR Rabat in their opening game. Ibtissam Jraidi's goal, handing the Moroccans all 3 points. Chance now for Opa Tukumbuke, if she can get on the end of this, around the goalkeeper, the angle getting too tight. Waits for support to come. Odiambo laid back for the shot from range, just blocked by Tisdale. And a collision between Sylvia Pine and Sylvia Mwacha. Two players may require some treatment here. Well, it was arm in the face of the Tanzanian defender from Sylvia Pine. Let's look at the chance again. It wasn't offside as that ball was played through by Aisha Nunca. Excellent touch around the goalkeeper from the skipper, but Opa was at too tight an angle to shoot herself, and the chance was pretty much gone by then. So break in play to allow for some treatment here. Well, lovely day here in Rabat. Temperatures hovering in the low 20s. It's going to be warm over the next few days as well. Perfect conditions. The final matches in this group, remember, to come on the 5th of November. That's Saturday, and then the following day, Group B comes to a conclusion. And the semi-finals will be played on the 9th of November. The final to follow on the 13th, and the latter stage is taking place here in Rabat. 0-0 it remains between Determined Girls and Simba Queens. The two teams still looking for their first goal here in Morocco. And Simba Queens coming forward again. Diamond Dan trying to prevent the corner unsuccessfully. High hanging delivery to the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was Joelle Bukuru who got her head to it, but didn't get any power behind the attempt, and an easy save for Jackie Tua. Well, the Tanzanian champions actually had more of the chances in their opening game against FAR Rabat. Twice as many attempts on target, but just couldn't get the goal. And first quarter of this game, once again they are creating chances, certainly getting themselves into dangerous positions, but not able to find a way through the Liberian defence just yet anyway. Aisha Nunca sent forward and straight through to Jackie Tua. Stark contrast, really. Determined Girls were well beaten by Green Buffaloes. It was shot after shot raining in on them, and 4-0. It could have been more than that. Could have been several more, in fact. Here they come again. Nunca holding up the cross into the middle. It falls for Odiambo. Strikes it from range. Cleared away once again. Captain Margaret Stewart dealing with that very coolly. Diamond Dan forward. Good running here from Sylvia Pine, if she can just get that ball out from under her feet. Say lays it off for Ruth Wesse. Patient build-up play, but it breaks down. Basse Darbo trying to put the challenge in. Opa Tukumbuke, the captain.
Take your time, take your time. Take time, take time. Cool down, Pambani. You can't even go. Let's go. Leave the ball, let's go forward. Now we get started. Start with Madani. Start with Madani. Let's go. Come. Nobody outside to receive the ball. Everybody.
Well, fans of women's football in Liberia and Tanzania hoping for their representatives to make a big impact here in Morocco this month. Reminder that in qualifying for this year's AFCON, neither nation made it beyond the first round. As the card is shown, and that's the reason why. Late challenge on Densa. Just needed some treatment. Abinti Camara, player cautioned. Second Determined Girls player to go into the book. Long ball flighted forward, and again a chance here for Simba Queens, but there was a very clear handball from Joelle Bukuru. The referee spotted it immediately. Basse Darbo moving it out to Diamond Dan on the left. Touch off by Mabinti Camara. Basse Darbo again. Camara will get on the end of this. if the ball will drop kindly for the shot. It's into the net, a superb strike in off the underside of the crossbar from Kantisei. But the offside flag comes up to cut short the celebrations. Our determined girls thought they had the opening goal. Now Binti Camara was through. There's the touch, and there is the shot, a superb strike. But Kantisei was a long way ahead of the last defender when that ball was initially played. A let off for Simba Queens. If Camara had got on the end of that ball herself rather than Say trying the shot, then maybe there would have been a goal for determined girls, but as it is, it remains 0-0. And at the moment, Simba Queens actually looking the more likely of the two teams. Once again, the final ball lacking. Sylvia Pine playing it to Mbase Darbo. One back by Mwacha for Simba Queens. The first time layoff by the captain, Opa Tukumbuke. Dealt with by Moore. Slack touch from Ruth Wesse. Again, Martha Lee Moore caught in possession. Right back to the edge of the box. Odiambo looking to line up the shot. Conceding the free kick once more. Determined girls let off the hook by a bit of indecision from Simba Queens, really. Bit more quality required. Away by Ngoi. Just mentioning the qualifying campaign for the AFCON. Tanzania defeated by Namibia. And Liberia losing heavily to Senegal. Senegal going on to reach the finals. Eventually losing in the last 8 to Zambia. Themselves went on to finish in 3rd place. The final in July here in Rabat, won by South Africa, who defeated the host nation Morocco 2-1. So good times for women's football in South Africa. Mamelodi Sundowns defending their Champions League title here this month as well. And starting off with a win in their opening game against Bielsa Queens on Monday, just by 2-1. Forward by Mwacha. Free kick conceded that time by Joel Bukuru, and it's Wesse, who is down, possibly requiring treatment, and the Ivorian referee not slow to reach for her pocket. Another yellow card produced. That was possibly the nastiest challenge we've seen yet. Joel Bukuru just leaving the studs in. Few complaints for the Tanzanian midfielder. Wesse is back on her feet quickly. And a third of the way through this game. Somehow it remains 0-0. Nicely done by Opa Tukumbuke. Turning away from one defender, dispossessed though. Confirmation of the card for Joel Bukuru, who's on the ball again. Here, that's a really clever ball in behind the fullback, and it flashes across the face of goal. Kuzoya possibly caught in two minds between having a shot herself and picking out a teammate in the middle, and in the end it wasn't really either. This is all about the quality of the pass there from Bukuru. And Pambani Kuzoya. I think she was looking for Opa Tukumbuke to connect with that, but it was too far in front of the skipper. Well, Simba Queens didn't have too many problems scoring goals in qualifying. 12 in 3 group games, and then they put 5 past AS Kigali in the semi-finals before what was admittedly a narrow win in the final against She Corporate of Uganda when they needed a penalty to get the result. These matches were played at home for them in Dar es Salaam. Home advantage working in their favour, as well as in the case of determined girls in their qualifying. Different conditions here in Morocco. Still goalless then in this second group game for these two teams in Group A here. It's been a first half with plenty of chances and a lot of breaks in play as well, lots of niggly fouls, and we've seen a few yellow cards shown as well. Nicely done. Throw in taken by Jafari. Ball in by Joel Bukuru. And Opa Tukumbuke, the skipper, getting to that ball in front of Jackie Tua, the goalkeeper, who has come off very much second best in that challenge. Well, it was an excellent run from Joel Bukuru. Heading to the byline. And a fine delivery as well, but Opa Tukumbuke nodding it just over the crossbar. One of the best chances yet for Simba Queens. Concern here for Jackie Tua. Well, I think it's the left ankle.
So what we need to
Stands gradually filling up here in Rabat. Istad Moulay Hassan.
North side, the sea way. Stick to the game plan. Stick to the game plan. We lost it, we press. We win the ball fast.
Jackie Tua seems to be okay, which is very good news for determined girls. Now then, is that ball going to be kept in play? Yes, it is. Odiambo Having to hold off Diamond Dan. Does really well to get the cross in, but collected by Jackie Tua. Once again, the Liberians struggling to bring the ball out from their own half here. Opatukumbuke, big strong physical presence up front for the Tanzanians. Denza. Odiambo trying to control that ball with her back to goal.
Always bumper. When we lost bumper. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Sylvia Mwacha starting today for Simba Queens. The only change to their lineup from the opening game. Diana Nali is absent today. Ball into the channel again.
Thank you, Margaret.
Good running from Aisha Nunca.
No control. Get the control of the ball.
Denzo's throw.
Control.
Odiambo.
Get the ball. Daniela.
Sylvia Pine. Cut out by Kibo. This is Mwacha.
Well out.
Simba Queens playing some excellent football up into the final third, but it's the final ball that's lacking. Finishing touch has not been there yet anyway. Jafari into the middle by Joel Bukuru. One or two very hopeful appeals for a handball. Nunca again trying to play the pass in behind the fullback, but watched carefully by Diamond Dan. This is Kanti Sei. Excellent challenge by Daniela Ngoi. Well, that was the appeal. Struck the midriff. Jenny Tisdale was the determined girls player involved. Tisdale involved again there. The challenge penalised by the referee, the assistant referee on the far side, waving her flag. Tisdale does need to be careful, having been booked in the early stages. Handball incident again. Denza's free kick, a high hanging delivery. Now Jackie Tua is leaving this goal kick, possibly feeling the effects of that knock that she took a few moments ago. Required treatment on what looked like the ankle. Well, the goalkeeper coming out of her penalty box to clear again. Not convincingly. Sylvia Pine. Trying to feed it to Mbasi Darbo. And Darbo just prodding it towards goal. Maybe just a lack of conviction about the finish. Odiambo. One ball forward, one in the air by Marthaline Moore. Once again, it's the ball in behind the fullback, this time on the near side. Asha Jafari. do with some support here. Perhaps it will be a chance for Odiambo to shoot. Well, I think Jackie Tua had her left-hand post covered, but that was not far away from Vivian Odiambo. She had plenty of time to line that one up, and in the end, just slicing the shot wide. That was a real chance for Simba Queens to get the opening goal with half-time approaching here. Vivian Odiambo Corazon, who scored the decisive goal in the final of qualifying. Still goalless somehow. Asha Jafari.
Get behind the ball.
Turned away by Margaret Stewart. It's come off Aisha Nunca last. Heading towards half-time here. And certainly there have been chances at either end. Of course, Determined Girls had the ball in the net, but celebrations cut short because of the offside flag which followed. Simba Queens have had more of the play, more of the territory. Bassi Darbo. Excellent play though from Mabinti Camara, just at the point of shooting. All credit to Daniela Ngoyi for getting a very important block in there. Well, Mabinti Camara has not really been very heavily involved in the game, but every time she's actually got her foot on the ball, I have to say that Camara has looked particularly threatening. Ruth Wesse will deliver this latest corner then. The sun is very low in the sky. Into the final minute of the first 45. There have been a number of stoppages for free kicks, but too many lengthy stoppages. There shouldn't be too much time added on before the break, as Kantise may have another chance here. Once again, it's rather indecisive defending that could have been punished, and Denza trying to prevent the corner. Well, Kantise had that attempt disallowed for offside earlier. Just a disappointing first touch. Showed too much of that ball to Denza. It is a goal kick then. Another great kick out. Picked up by Jafari. Kuru. There will be 2 minutes added on then at the end of the half. Daniela Ngoyi forward. Picked up by Aisha Nunca. Plays that ball down the line. Again, in behind the fullback, and it's Margaret Stewart who makes the rather rash challenge, which is punished. And a yellow card as well for the Determined Girls skipper. There can't be too many complaints about that one. Pambani Kuzoya was the player who looked to be away. And is it to be drama right at the end of the half here? Jackie Tua organising her defence. Has to be a good ball into the middle. There's 6 red shirts in the penalty box waiting for this. 3 players in the wall. It is a good delivery, but just lacked the proper connection with the header. Pambani Kuzoya was one of the players who went up for that in the middle. Daniela Ngoyi had come forward too. Patukumbuke again, there's the shot which is well wide of target. And Simba Queens ultimately, for all their possession, for all their territory in the first half, they have looked the more dangerous of the 2 teams. Not that they've looked particularly safe at the back, it does have to be said, but they've had more of the openings, just haven't been able to find a way through, and determined girls have held on into the interval. These 2 teams looking for their first win in this group and still looking for their first goal as well at half-time here in Rabat. It's Determined Girls 0, Simba Queens 0. Well, we see the half-time statistics. 54% of the possession in favour of Simba Queens, who've had 8 attempts on goal, as many as their opponents, but actually Determined Girls have had 2 attempts on target to 1. So it has been a fairly close contest, but I've got the impression that Simba Queens have got into more promising positions more often. But it remains 0-0 at the break.
Get that chance. Well done, Boo-Boo. Well done, Bukuru. Well done, Bukuru. Well done, Bukuru. Rookie, you don't get that chance.
Well, welcome back to Rabat, where we will be underway very shortly in the second half of the first game of the day in this year's CAF Women's Champions League. We're in Group A, and it's 0-0 at the moment between Determined Girls of Liberia and Simba Queens of Tanzania. And certainly, despite the fact that it's goalless, we've had plenty of chances in the first 45 minutes of this game. One goal disallowed, without any doubt, for an offside flag for Kanti Say of Determined Girls. And Simba Queens probably looking the more dangerous of the two teams overall, but neither team able to find a way through just yet. And it is very significant because whoever loses this game will be 3 points behind at the bottom of the table, and they'll have lost out on head-to-head against their opponents today, having lost their opening game as well. Determined Girls beaten 4-0 by Green Buffaloes of Zambia, and Simba Queens edged out 1-0 by FAR Rabat, and that means that it'll be early elimination for whoever ends up on the losing side today, and a draw is not a good result for either team. So we're off again in the second half here in Rabat, as the sun slowly disappears. The shadows have got longer and longer since this game got underway. 0-0 it remains between Determined Girls and Simba Queens, and the Tanzanian side in an all-red kit with white trim, and got the action underway in the second half and looking to push forward again. They had more of the possession in the opening 45 minutes. This is Ngoi. Away by Rugi Diouf. Bassi Darbo wins the free kick. The number 8 for Determined Girls, who has looked dangerous, collecting possession from a deep position and heading towards goal. Kanti Say. Leaving the throw for Diamond Dan. It's going to be the 18-year-old left back to deliver the throw here. Certainly the emphasis on youth in each of these sides. Denza's throw, sending it forward to Opa Tukumbuke. This is Aisha Nunca. Fed down the line for Opa Tukumbuke again. And the attempt from a long way out. Nothing to trouble Jackie Tua in goal. Corazon, so a big presence in the Simba Queens midfield. Scorer of the decisive goal in the final in qualifying in August against She Corporate down in Dar es Salaam. Rugi Diouf is again taking the goal kick here for Determined Girls, the Gambian international. Concerns about Jackie Tua's fitness, I think, unable to take the kicks as that ball sails into the middle and into the arms of Gilwa Lugomba, the goalkeeper. Densa again. Forward by Corazon, collected by Mbasi Darbo. It's a loose pass from her. Fed through and asking maybe a bit too much of Opa Tukumbuke. The offside flag up in any case. And assistant referees do wait these days until the end of the move to lift their flags. The idea is to help make things easier for the VAR if it turns out that they are wrong in raising the flag. Another yellow card brandished, another Determined Girls player down requiring treatment. Sylvia Mwacha is the Simba Queens player walking away from the scene. Well, that was the challenge. The two players setting off in pursuit of the ball. Well, we've had just 5 minutes in the second half, and Simba Queens already going to make a double substitution here. So Barakat Olaya and Amina Hemed are the two players who are going to come on here now. Barakat Olaya is going to take the place of Vivian Corazon, Kenyan midfielder. At the moment, looks like these Simba Queens players want to stay on the pitch until the free kick is taken, but the referee is signalling that the changes have to be made now. So Vivian Corazon, Kenyan international, coming off. Barakat Olaya on in her place. Was kept in on the far side. Away by Sylvia Mwacha.
Substitution for Simba Queens, player number 10, Aisha Juma Nunca, is replaced by player number 14, Amina Eme.
Confirmation of the other change, the 17-year-old Aisha Nunca coming off to make way for Amina Hemed coming on. Remember, hashtag CAF WCL to follow all the action on social media. Oh, the offside flag coming up once again. Rugi Diouf standing over the ball. One of two Gambians in the Determined Girls lineup. Confirmation of that second change, Aisha Nunca replaced by Amina Hemed. Now then, big chance this time is turned into the net by Opa Tukumbuke, and Simba Queens have the breakthrough. The early goal they were looking for in this second half, after they applied so much pressure in the opening period without being able to find a way through. And finally, Simba Queens have their first goal here in Morocco in Group A. That pass will be checked to make sure there's no offside. Didn't look like it. It's an excellent move. The ball flighted forward. Superb running. And the first time layoff for the captain, Opa Tukumbuke, to tuck it past Jackie Tua. A cool finish. And what about that for a layoff? What about that for an introduction from Barakat Olaya, just on as a substitute, setting up the goal. And Simba Queens have the lead. Well, the referee just awaiting confirmation from the VAR that there is nothing wrong with the goal. Just checking to make sure it's not offside. Have to make sure that Opa Tukumbuke was not ahead of the last defender when that ball was played. It certainly didn't look to be the case. And confirmation that the goal is good. Simba Queens have the advantage here. And Opa Clement Tukumbuke playing the captain's role with the finish. A bit of frustration again for determined girls. Margaret Stewart getting a talking to from the referee, and she is one of the players who need to be careful, having already seen a yellow card. Opa is the player who went down. And the challenge right through the back of the Simba Queens skipper. In ordinary circumstances, that would be a yellow card. She seems to have got away with it. Well, can Simba Queens build on that opening goal? Free kick played forward by Amina Hamed. Barakat Olaya again, the Nigerian, lays it back to Pambani Kuzoya. Cleared away by Ruth Wesse. Well, they've certainly got a spring in their step now. The ball into the middle from Opa. Margaret Stewart preventing the corner. Or did she? Well, this was the ball in from Opa, and then Margaret Stewart just doing enough to prevent the corner. Well, the question is, can determined girls come back from this? They were soundly beaten in their opening game, torn apart in the early stages, and losing 4-0, equaling the biggest defeat yet in the short life of the CAF Women's Champions League. Still to score a goal here in Morocco. And Let's see what they can do with not much more than half an hour remaining in this one. And Simba Queens could be in again here. Amina Hamed, the two substitutes, have made a big impact since coming on. Forward by Diamond Dan. Picked up by Densa. Ruth Wesse. Basse Darbo playing it forward, asking for Mabinti Camara to make the run, and said it in the first half. Every time that Mabinti Camara did get on the ball, it wasn't often. She looked dangerous, but determined girls maybe need to do a bit more to get her involved in the game. Still encouragement coming from the determined girls coach. Can the Liberians turn this around? Got themselves a free kick here. They are very much the strongest team back home in Liberia, but the team from Monrovia learning that the step up to continental competition is a big one. Charles Lukula's Simba Queens have the advantage. Match day 2 as they look for their first victory. Played forward by Rugi Juf and collected confidently by Simba Queens goalkeeper. And here they come again. Possibly a chance to double their lead here. It's laid back to Opa once more, who hits it over the bar. Set up by Asha Jafari, who maybe could have gone herself, but unselfishly laid it off to the captain. And maybe was just ahead of the last defender. It was Margaret Stewart who was the deepest defender. Laid off again by Opa. Barakat Olaya's ball forward, and Opa could be in again. Fumbled by the goalkeeper, still alive here. Amina Hamed to make it 2, saved by Jackie Tua, and eventually determined girls clear their lines. Away by Ruth Wesse, but just have the feeling that Simba Queens' second goal might only be a matter of time in coming. And Jackie Tua, having already been in the wars in the first half, is going to require more treatment here. The referee from the Ivory Coast coming across to check on her. Collision with one of her own teammates as we see the chance again. There it was. Tisdale left on the ground, and then Tua making the save. Amina Hamed, the player denied. I have to say that that double substitution at the beginning of the second half has worked wonders for Simba Queens. Well, the stretcher is out. And let's see if a change has to be made here. Jackie Tua seems to be okay. Tisdale coming off second best in that collision with her goalkeeper.
Come first. Now watch.
Tukumbuke again, looking really dangerous in this second half, but watched all the way by Margaret Stewart. Bukuru slips it through. No offside flag this time. Chance to make it 2-0, and yet Asha Jafari has put it wide. An absolutely incredible miss, you have to say, from a superb position. Could and should have been 2-0, and no question of offside because Margaret Stewart was playing her on. Just the goalkeeper to beat. Well, will that give determined girls a lift here? They're still in this game. A shot from the angle from Mabinti Camara. Another desperate attempt, really, you have to say. Well, this is the angle. You see there, she simply had to score. The goal was gaping for Asha Jafari. And the player from Burundi squandering the opportunity. Determined girls now getting ready to make a change themselves. To do something to turn the tide here. Ball into the middle from Amina Hamed. Knocked away by Moore, picked up by Mbassi Darbo. The goal in the 53rd minute, having Simba Queens in front. Here come the Liberians, Mabinti Camara. And the shot from the edge of the area. Hopeful attempt from Sylvia Pine. Touch on again by Amina Hamed, forward by Joel Bukuru. Here is Barakat Olaya. Nicely done to find Opa Tukumbuke. This is excellent football from Simba Queens. The ball across the face of goal. And once again, Asha Jafari squanders a great chance to make it 2-0. It's still alive here. Daniel Ngoyi. Picked up by Ruth Wesse. Strong play again, though, from the Simba Queens captain. Finds Barakat Olaya on the right. Might she fancy the chance herself? Well, disappointing effort in the end. And the Nigerian shot is easily saved. There's a couple of determined girls players who are down here and requiring some treatment. Can't say it's one of them. Seems to have taken a knock to the face. It was just the flailing arm of Opa Tukumbuke as she set off towards goal. And then Ruth Wesse caught by the leg of the Simba Queens captain, causing all kinds of havoc. This is that chance a few moments ago. Really good build-up play. And it really had to be 2-0. It could have been more than that by now, but determined girls remaining in this game. And now they make the substitution. Kantisai is the player coming off, and it's Buntasila who enters the fray. Number 13 from Guinea.
Is replaced by number 13,
Buntasila did impress after coming on in the second half against Green Buffaloes, only to have to come off herself later on. Well, the referee just communicating with the VAR again. Meanwhile, Simba Queens preparing to make another substitution here in Rabat at the home of FUS Rabat, one of the major clubs in the Moroccan capital. In the men's game, even if it is the Giants of Casablanca who tend to dominate. Now then, well, the referee just talking to the determined girls captain Margaret Stewart here. Just telling the two captains that there's no recourse to the VAR, and it is going to be a drop ball given to Jackie Tua, the young determined girls goalkeeper. They've got 20 minutes to turn this around, and really they need to win this game. A draw not good enough for either side, I have to say. Barakat Olaya giving chase. Turned behind by the captain Stewart. Denza. So we're going to see a couple of changes here for Simba Queens. Once again, a drop ball to restart things. Played in by Densa. There's the header from Opatukumbuke off target. Well, will the changes be made first? Asha Jafari having passed up these two terrific chances to extend Simba Queen's lead is replaced here by Philomena Abaka. A youngster from Ghana, and Sylvia Mwacha making way as well. Doto Tosi, who's just 17, is the player who replaces her.
Substitution for Simba Queens. Player number 24, Asha Jafari, is replaced by player number 11, Doto Evaristosi. Player number 12, Sylvia Thomas Mwacha, is replaced by player number 11, Doto Evaristosi.
It's given away. More fresh legs on the field for Simba Queens, and interesting that determined girls have not looked as often to the bench. Got Buntusila on the number 13. They need to get her in the game now. So Rugi Juf will send the free kick forward again. They need to commit players forward. They need to try to at least test the Simba Queens goalkeeper a bit more in the closing stages. Did have a couple of excellent chances in the first half, but Simba Queens have been very much the stronger team since the restart, and they've won a free kick again. And they come once more, laid back, and the shot from on the penalty spot, it comes crashing back off the frame of the goal. Amina Hemed denied this time. Denza. Cross in, stopped by Stewart. Barakat Olaya. Simba Queens looking for that second goal that would surely put this game to bed. Amina Hemed once more. Denza. Oh, it's deflected off the defender, Tisdale, who claims she didn't get a touch to it. Well, replays will tell us if that's true or not. The officials have signalled for the corner. We're going to see the chance again. Once more, Barakat Olaya involved. Really impressive since she came on, cutting it back to her fellow substitute. And Amina Hemed denied by the frame of the goal. And that time it was Pambani Kuzoya's header, saved by Jackie Tua. And the determined girls' goal really living a charmed life in this second half. Will they live to regret these misses? 3 or 4 big opportunities passed up. It really should have been a goal there. Certainly Asha Jafari missing 2 great chances a little earlier in this second half. Here is Joel Bukuru. Now then, this time played across the face of goal, and once more Opa Tukumbuke failing to connect properly in the middle. And there's another one to add to a growing list of gilt-edged chances missed by Simba Queens. Still they come. Opa, the captain again, played back to Amina Hemed once more. Takes the touch to steady herself. The angle getting too tight. Well, now determined girls just unable to prevent Simba Queens attacking in waves. The only thing that's prevented the Tanzanians from racing into a much bigger lead has been their own poor finishing. Maybe this time. Pass from Opa Tukumbuke is overhit. Picked up by Denza. So another chance goes a-begging. This was the great running from Philomena Abaka, just on as a substitute. And Opa Tukumbuke, the captain, getting her finish all wrong. That was the effort off the crossbar just before from Amina Hemed, another of the substitutes who've come on in this second half and really helped Simba Queens take complete control of the game. Jackie Tua making the save as well. That is the big chance, and from a player who you would expect to score, certainly from that position.
Don't give up, guys. You can make it. Don't keep it up.
Now then, the referee is coming across to check the images here and looking at a possible penalty. for that challenge by Jenny Tisdale. Catching Joël Bukuru, who's been impressive, getting forward from midfield today for Simba Queens. There's not any contact with the ball from Tisdale. It will be big trouble for her if a penalty is awarded, because she's already on a booking. There's the challenge, and the referee thinking long and hard about this one. So what's it going to be? The signal is that it's a penalty for Simba Queens. The foul by Jenny Tisdale on Joël Bukuru, penalised. And when you see it there, can't be many complaints in the Liberian camp. And a second half in which they have been very lucky not to fall further behind. Now they have given Simba Queens a fantastic chance, surely this time, to increase their lead, and it's the substitute Barakat Olaya who seizes the ball here. She is confident, she's made a big impact since coming on, the Nigerian. Well, Jackie Tua has been called into action on plenty of occasions this evening. She's been saved by the frame of her goal. She's been saved as well by very poor finishing in this second half. Will the Nigerian Barakat Olaya finally get that second goal that Simba Queens have been looking for? She's been told to wait for the referee's whistle. Barakat Olaya from the spot, finds the corner, and there is the second goal at last for Simba Queens. It's been one-way traffic in the second half, and after a hatful of missed chances, now they have real daylight between them and determined girls here. Barakat Olaya has been outstanding since coming on just after the restart, and it was a confidently dispatched penalty beyond the reach of Jackie Tua. Surely it's game over now. Into the final 10 minutes. And the determined girls' side, who have yet to score a goal since coming here to Morocco, and who really need to win this game to keep their hopes alive, have got an enormous task ahead of them. It's just 9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Surely too much for them to do. They've just not really been in the game as an attacking force in the second half. They had the chances in the first half. Even if Simba Queens even then had more of the possession and looked the more likely of the two sides. Well, anyone with connections to the other two teams in the group will be keeping an eye on events here. And safe to say that Green Buffaloes will be bracing themselves for a tough game on the final match day against Simba Queens, who've been very much the stronger side this evening over the course of the game, given how they've played in the second half, and who gave a pretty good account of themselves against FAR Rabat in the opener 3 days ago, despite ending up on the losing side in that one. Here is the Ghanaian Philomena Abaka playing it into the middle. Just too close to Jackie Tua on that occasion. The offside flag up anyway. chance for FAR Rabat and Green Buffaloes meeting a little later this evening to make it 2 wins from 2 and ease their path towards the semi-finals. The determined girls, 1 game remaining after this against the Moroccan hosts. And it'll be a case of trying to sign off on a high, really. Here they come with Mabinti Camara. Ball into the middle, cut out by Denza. Bukuru played forward, outside of the boot. The pass from Amina Hemed. Juf. That's an excellent ball from Bassi Darbo. Sylvia Pine into the middle. Watched all the way by Denza, and in many ways that's the difference. Simba Queens finishing has let them down, but they've looked that bit more solid defensively. And Denza dealt with that well. Joel Bukuru, ball in behind the fullback again. Barakat Olaya sending off on the chase, this time penalised for the challenge. Well, I think Simba Queens will realise that they'll have to step up another level yet if they're to really stand a chance of winning the trophy here in Morocco. I think there's a gap really between this determined girls side and the very best teams on the continent. Mamelodi Sundowns, holders who got their campaign here off to a winning start on Monday by edging out Bayelsa Queens of Nigeria. And Mamelodi Sundowns in action again tomorrow when they play Wadi Degla. Goyi. This is Abaka. Denza, good defending again. She's won the free kick as well, up against Mabinti Camara. Just hasn't been able to make an impact on the game in the second half, the determined girls, number 10. Now then, the referee looks to have given this decision in favour of Simba Queens. Margaret Stewart is livid, grappling for the ball with Opa Tukumbuke, the two captains coming together. She can't believe it. Possession stolen back by Joel Bukuru. 2-0 it remains for Simba Queens. There's another late challenge coming in, and the referee reaching for her pocket again, and this is going to be trouble for Margaret Stewart, the determined girls captain. Well, Jenny Tisdale maybe escaped a second booking when she conceded the penalty. Margaret Stewart will surely not get away with that one. Scything down the Simba Queens captain. And the referee reached for a pocket initially. The yellow card coming out here. So the second yellow shown to Margaret Stewart, who knows what's coming and begins to make her way off the pitch. The red card flashed in the direction of the determined girls skipper. It is a bitter ending to this game for her and for her team. She will pass on the armband and she will miss out on the third group game, which will be the Liberians' last in this Champions League competition. They made it through in qualifying in a difficult group in the West African zone, but step up to the Champions League proper is a big one. And after being very well beaten in their opening game, it was 4-0 in that one, with better finishing from Simba Queens. It might have been more than that this evening, and now determined girls forced to finish this match down to 10 players. Disappointing attempt from the free kick from Philomena Abaka. The less said about that shot, the better. And now Jackie Tua is down again. She has been in the wars this evening. Hurt in the first half, and hurt again in a collision with one of her teammates in this second half. The trainer is on here with what looks like some ice to treat this knock. Jackie Tua, just 18 years old. Well, the fans beginning to arrive ahead of the second game this evening. FAR Rabat up against Green Buffaloes, the big winners on match day one. The Zambians putting 4 past determined girls. There will be 4 added minutes at the end of this game this evening. And then just over an hour before the second match gets underway. Well, we'll see if there's enough time between now and the final game for Jackie Tua to shake off these bumps and bruises and take her place in the side. There's the first goal again, the lovely layoff from Barakat Olaya. An excellent move it was, and finish from Upa Tukumbuke to make it 1-0. Simba Queens then squandering 4 or 5 brilliant chances to increase their lead before getting the penalty, which Barakat Olaya converted, and that was 2-0. What an impressive display from her coming off the bench. Plenty of excellent performances throughout the team from Simba Queens, you have to say. Denza at right back has been excellent. Pambani Kuzoya sends it forward, looking for Joel Bukuru, who has been impressive, getting forward from midfield as well. It's going to be 3 points for Simba Queens, the first points on the board for them, and it will keep alive their chances of qualifying from this group, making it through to the semi-finals. Ahead of Saturday's final game against Green Buffaloes, which is shaping up to be a really interesting one indeed. We'll see how they get on later against FAR Rabat. Certainly, the feeling is you probably want to make sure you win this group. In all likelihood, Mamelodi Sundowns the favourites to top Group B, and therefore the runners-up in Group A would face the South Africans in the last four. Semi-finals being played a week tonight. Just the last few seconds now here. It's been game over since that penalty went in. For a long time before that, the determined girls' goal was living a charmed life. And all the energy has been sapped out of them in this second half, in which they've been on the back foot the whole time. They've been outclassed in every department, just the finishing, letting Simba Queens down, and they're going to have to settle for just the 2 goals, it seems, this evening, unless they can grab another one here with surely the last attack of the evening. The referee gives the free kick, and that will be that. Simba Queens scoring twice in the second half, hitting the woodwork, and missing a couple of golden chances to score more goals. Abinti Camara's ball running through to Gilwa Lugomba, who's been virtually a spectator in the second half here. Hardly anything to do for the Tanzanian goalkeeper. We continue to play on. The treatment required at the end, meaning that stoppage time has been extended here into 6th minute. Might there be time for the Liberians to take the corner? Abinti Camara will take it. Disappointing delivery again. And there is the final whistle. Really putting determined girls out of their misery, you have to say, because they've been very much outclassed in this second half, and Simba Queens winning by 2-0. It could have been several more than that. After Opa Tukumbuke got the breakthrough in the 53rd minute, the captain finishing off from a lovely Barakat Olaya assist, the Nigerian who came off the bench. She had a big impact in this second half. It was her penalty with 10 minutes left that made it 2-0 and really ended any doubt about the outcome, because for a long spell before that, Simba Queens were creating chances but failing to take them. They missed several terrific opportunities, a couple squandered by Asha Jafari. Opa Tukumbuke could have scored again herself, and also Amina Hemed hitting the crossbar. 2-0 doesn't really tell the whole story in that case. Determined girls finishing down to 10 players, with captain Margaret Stewart sent off late on, and a disappointing night for them, a chastening defeat really, to follow on from their 4-0 hammering in their opening game against Green